Okay, I'm back. Three's a charm. So, anywho, so let's get back to the 12, 12. 12. So, okay, so wanted to read about on YouTube is I am Sonia Illescas, Illescas, and uh, she has on an email that I get from her called I am life coaching 1111 a gmail.com. I mean at gmail.com. Sorry. Blessings, beautiful souls. This is what she writes. 1212 vibrates on a healing frequency. Therefore, we may notice past wounds have been surfacing, and so they can be cleared and healed. Whom do you need to forgive to finally be free? We are going to be transmuting the energy of the past 10 years so, excuse me, that we leave the decade feeling healthier, stronger, more empowered, resilient, ready for new beginnings, and not afraid to let go of those familiar but harmful and limiting energies. Okay. We are about to enter an extremely intense 10-day energy portal starting on 12/12, December 12th, ending 21 through 12, the 21st through, I guess, January 12th. Wow. That would be like in a month. That will cleanse debilitating toxins from our lives. That includes unhealthy habits, conditioned behaviors, outdated beliefs, and irrational fear based thoughts. False, what is it? False reality appearing real. False existence appearing real. Thoughts and feelings that diminish our energy and leave us feeling irritable, anxious, and burnt out. Any ties that energetically bind us to people or situations that are determined or limiting us in any way will be severed. Hiya. Probably Archangel Michael's sword during this period, and we will be free to walk away with compassion, forgiveness, and total peace of mind. With Mercury and is that right? Yeah. With Mercury in retrograde on December 12th, we may also feel the urge to remove ourselves from the company of anyone that provokes arguments, shows aggression, is controlling, manipulative, deception, deceptive, judgmental, overly critical, or generally abusive. So critical, someone could be critical like in a mean way to like put you down or control you. And then there's critical thinking and constructive criticism that is something to help you. Like I trust my sister and my heart is totally open to her. If she tells me, everyone else is kind of like, yeah, that's your problem, dude. I'm fine. But because I know I'm okay, and all right, and then if my sister says something like, "Hey, really, you ate all the strawberries?" Then I'll be like, "Oh, I'm sorry," then it takes that trust and someone that you can, um, know that their opinion isn't an attack. It's actually, it's a constructive criticism to I should have left some. That was really selfish or greedy of me. Um, we used to do that to my kids, and they would leave. Well, this was before I had kids when I ate those strawberries, and now my kids know we live and we learn to leave a little bit for everyone else, and they had to learn that too. But everyone else, unless they are a family member and they're being harsh, narcissistic, selfish, breadcrumbing, all those low vibe stuff, then it's tune it out. I'm fine. All right, that's your problem, not mine. Basically, we will find that anything unhealthy absolutely has to be removed from our life or be totally revolutionized, whether it is relationship dynamics, careers, eating habits, or overall lifestyle choices. Damn, these energies are like no joke, It's like really just like karma hits us and we have to learn to use our gut feelings or our clarities and something bad happens when we don't. Um, life lessons, but this is really just gonna axe it. Not only will we be ending a 10-year cycle that has been emotionally and mentally challenging, we are also about to embark on an important transformational new phase, moving forward, moving toward a brand new decade. So it is vital we clear out old energy once and for and being energetically ready for this shift. Yeah, totally. Um, I'm feeling it. I'm so feeling it. Um, During this 12-12 energy portal, we will be feeling compelled to evaluate and ponder over prominent things we have been through over the last 10 years. In recent weeks, we may also have noticed we have been repeating the same patterns over and over and attracting the same old lessons we thought we'd learned long ago. Not me, man. I know. And someone who's demoted into karmic and wants to come in my life, I can't. It would be just like you made your mistake and going through your karma. I take it, the karmic back. Then guess what? I'm going to get that karma, and I don't want that karma. I learn from my mistakes, and I can't, even if I wanted to, I can't. And, we just have to be safe. And, being a high priestess also use my clarities. I've also noticed with these new energies, our clarities becoming more clearer. And I also heard that we're getting more intuitive, strong, sharper. We will be receiving numerous insights and significant aha moments alongside melancholic feelings and emotions that cause us to return and relive certain periods from the last decade that caused us confusion, turmoil, and pain. Well, we need to shift our thinking to something more positive that will show that we're healed and live in the now, right? Mindfulness, because we can't do anything about the past. And that shows we're healed and that, um, still do the best we can with the now, right? Getting our life more together and on track, using our time management more wisely. That will remove a lot of anxieties because we have um, we have taken control of our future. We don't have to control others. We feel more grounded, and we have to stay grounded in these energies too. Very grounded, grounded to nature, grounded to Mother Earth, and grateful. Right, the divinity in us honors the divinity in Mother Earth. Namaste. Also, we need to use our facts in our logical thinking. Right, um, our emotions stay grounded to Mother Earth and stay in prayer, put on our armor of God. The main reason for this is the healing, unconditional love, unconditionally loving ourselves, accepting ourselves, and changing our thoughts and learned behaviors into lemonade, something more productive, not destructive. Conclusions and closure always arrive at the end of a major energy cycle. So that's good because that's what we've learned. Anytime you write a paper, your conclusion consists of what we learned, what we have learned. Sorry. And that the closure is also okay, this is the end, right? Wrap it up and then put a pretty bow on it. And it's all it's all good, right? Structured information, um, and it flows. And that way the reader can like see what's coming, knows the information, right? The hot meal, and then the conclusion, what we have learned, and that's our soul. Our soul is never broken. Our spirit, just like Kathy O'Brien had said, who was MK ultra'd and tortured, and um, she had everything done to her, even brought back to life, and um, she she healed herself, and she said that this faith and knowledge, the human spirit, yeah, is one thing that nobody else can ever mess with or steal, and that is connected to our divine. That is our strength. He is our strength, which is in us. We are a fractal of strength of our divine heavenly Father, our Creator. And I'm going to reread this. The main reason for this is the healing conclusions and closure always arrive at the end of a major energy cycle. When our repressed emotions and feelings have been given a safe space to resurface, receive validation and permission to move onward. It is essential that before we begin a fresh cycle, we end old, outdated ones. The next couple of weeks will serve as an important and necessary transformational phase, and it is vital we are prepared for this shift. Much love, grace, and gratitude, Sonia. Very good. And also, um, the thing about the fresh cycle is shifting our thinking into lemonade, a new day, and bury the hatchet. Let the past go. We learn from it. Now, very important, um, like my therapy hat on, is that when, a lot of us, when we suppress traumas that have been buried for a long time, people put it off. It's like, I don't want to cry today. I don't want to break down today. I got to work. I can't take time. I'll take time for a vacation, but I don't take time for healing. Give yourself at least a week to cry and get that emotion out because you're going to be wiped. You're going to release all that. It's going to feel icky and ugly and horrible, the bad, the good, the ugly. And be you. Be you. Be real and honest and cry it out, punch your pillow, whatever. Because once you get that out, then you can fill it up with something fresh and new. The lemonade, start it over. Citrus, eat healthy, grown in the sun food, not um, fast food that doesn't even break down to. They even showed like they took a Big Mac and put it in a jar, and they took something organic, grown in the yard, grown in the sun, normal, good food, natural, and they put, the kind of acid that we have on our stomach, to kind of represent it breaking down in our system. And the the hamburger or Big Mac never broke down. It was like plastic. It just stayed like that. And the natural food broke down, and all the enzymes could get vitamin A, vitamin D, whatever the nutrients. It um, benefits the body, right? And that energy from the sun. And the thing is that when we have that fast food in our stomach that just sits there and never lets the enzymes do their job, um, and the body not only starves a little bit, but from the nutrients, but and the health benefits, but the plastic that just sat there for years and years and years, it showed, and never decomposed. And um, my friend was saying that a lot of people who have anxiety will have irritable bowel syndrome. And I was thinking, oh, because they're not listening to their gut feeling. And she was saying no, because that just tenses up. And if you think about that, that's also because you got to release it. She says it sits. It just sits, and sitting down deep in our guts, irritable bowel syndrome, IBS. That's also an emotion that we need to be aware of. We're not using our gut feeling. We're not releasing that. And she's like, once you release all that, there's a void. Yes, of course, but that's when you got to like refill yourself with the positive. I was asking about working out. She said, "Yeah, absolutely. but you got to think about it and you got to feel about it. What um, we have to, well, it's very important to ground. And also, if we don't release that, it will weigh us down. Okay. The trauma that is buried and not released and healed, processed, you have to identify the issue, the root problem, and then two, do the 7 stages of grief, processing it, right? What is it that made me feel this way? Why did that happen? And process the 7 stages of grief until acceptance. Then number 3, making changing your thinking, um, something else, right? Don't and triggers are also show that there's something there that needs to be healed. It's just a projection. Usually they say when someone is hateful towards another person or doesn't like this and doesn't like that about someone else, it's really something about them because they're projecting. We are really talking about ourselves when we talk. Yeah. Um, eat what you like. Say what you like, right? Everything I say is pretty much how I am. I will say, you know, to people who are sensitive, don't take this personally. I'm talking about something logically that literally happened, has nothing to do with you. Usually, traumatized people do internalize and take things. In a vain way, because they haven't had that feeling, that fulfillment. They don't know how to feel. Maybe they were never taught how to express their emotions. Some learned behaviors are like, men will say it's not masculine to be emotional, that's weak or whatever. Yet they're human too. Actually, humans hue colors of our emotions. We're here to experience these emotions. It is healthy for a man to explain, like Dr. Phil, he is in touch with his emotions and can explain it and identify in other people and help them to process the 7 stages of grief. And then number 3, to help make lemonade out of lemons, change their thinking, something more productive instead of destructive. And then that issue is relieved. It's like it's removed. The weed are gone. Get the tumbleweeds out and replace it with roses. Something you can use your imagination, whatever works for you. It's very important to have boundaries. Set your boundaries. And if someone that is abusive or doesn't say nice things and really they're talking about themselves, if you think about it, emotional intelligence says that. And we can notice that too, right? Nice people will usually have something nice to say or don't say anything at all or look for the best in others. And then there's people who haven't healed and they have nothing but negative things to say about other people. Well, do they love themselves? No. Do they blame other people? Do they take accountability? You know, there's really a lot of obvious things, and there's been a lot of studies on it, peer reviewed by the gurus and lots of universities. And just it's a science. And it's also in a book called DSM-5. They might have another one now, but it's kind of like a guideline that the professionals in mental health use to spot and identify what if there's like a mental illness or something that needs to that's they use their education and all the gurus who took the time to study and put this in a book, they can identify and make an evaluation and help them hopefully heal and process and change their thinking to have a um, their own self-love journey. So if they don't have boundaries, they'll be stuck. Okay, and there'll be patterns, bad decisions, bad choices. So um, by getting unstuck, we need an awareness of our ourselves, our inner work. And going back to what we just said, identify the issue, what happened, and releasing that and processing. Give yourself a healing vacation that can help you to mature this and resolve, evolve, and mature in this. mental health, emotional maturity, emotional intelligence. Also goes hand in hand with spiritual. And that's a great way. Also, um, it's all about time. Okay. And time is of the essence. Time, as my son said yesterday, essence is our energy. And time is of the essence. Um, we have to use our logical thinking and be mindful of um, our time management and use our time wisely, right? So I'm thinking right now, like the past is gone and the future, don't get anxious about the future because um, there's um, logical ways to plan that out and not do everything last minute. That is stressful, but have a more like backup plans and other um, professional business ways that help take control of that. I did realize my MBA wasn't completely useless because I am using it. It's helping me. I noticed I don't have anxiety because now I know how to take control of my future. Um, and negative thought, behavior, action. So use your time wisely and give yourself a healing vacation. Take a week off from work. Take, take your kids over to the grandparents' house or something like that. Give your time to really hermit yourself and go within and process this out. And you'll really feel a difference. I know it's going to wipe your energy out. You're going to feel horrible. You're going to feel the pain. You're going to cry. You're going to punch something, maybe go to the gym, but you have to be processing it and thinking, like you're filtering out, you're getting it out. And then um, everything that the negative thoughts and behaviors and actions that we hold inside um, is inside of our bodies, whether we believe it or not. That's energy that needs to be released, okay? And it will be a projection. If someone has, um, you know, something not nice to say, well, there's something about them that they don't like about them that they're saying. And if someone's feeling guilt and shame, that can also cause IBS syndrome, upset stomach. Um, so you got to get that out. You got to release it, filter it, process it, get it out. Mentally, in writing, um, you can like keep a journal, um, you know, beating a punching bag, whatever works for you. But you got to be thinking about it and you got to be feeling it and you got to be processing. Um, so acknowledge by identifying and what the feeling is. And then two, when you're doing the processing of the 7 stages of grief, then that what it is that you are feeling. Identify that feeling and what it is that you need. Um, and then again, three, you can take the pain and find a solution and or a challenge, something that is productive. A challenge, a lot of us that have stimulated minds and hearts and just creative will do like challenges. I mean, that are reasonable. And we have to use our intentions too. Remember yesterday I had that download about with our guides, spiritual intentions of what is it that we need to accomplish now and in the future, and use the past as wisdom only. Other than that, it should be healed with unconditional love. Feel it, refill yourself with unconditional love. Give yourself credit. Usually, people who have the hardest lives, we all have to take accountability for that because we chose that before we came here. And these are the lessons we want to learn. This planet is the hardest educational planet there is in our galaxy or this universe. Actually, I heard from a Palladian that this is the Harvard of all the planets, and there's lines. Actually, Dr. Doreen Virtue said there's souls, there's souls that are in line, long lines to come here and get this education from Earth. We have an Earth stamped on our Akash records. We're looking like a Harvard graduate, that went to a place that has a lot to learn. and And then when you're refilling yourself with, giving yourself a pat on the back for all that you've been through and what you've learned from it, life is learning, right? And that I am letting myself um, be accepted to be me, whether other people like it or not. I'm not hurting nobody. I'm not rude. I'm not offensive. I follow the laws. I'm a good person. I'm considerate, and if someone wants to have judgment on me, then there's something in them that they need. They're just talking about themselves, really. Right? They're projecting. Um, and letting go of what is not serving who I am for my best and highest good. Replace that old belief, that old, these energies, a lot of those old things, old ways, old um, spell work even, um, doesn't work in the high vibes. In fact, a lot of the chosen ones, the innocents who are getting picked on by um, people, narcissists and low vibe karmics that want to control issues. Um, our DNAs have been upgraded, and that's another. We just keep getting upgraded because he's protecting us. He's like, you're in my yard. Get out of here. This is my child. You know, Daddy Bear, Papa Bear comes out and like upgrades our DNA, and that's why a lot of the spell work, all the spell work, hasn't worked at all, and we get upgraded and we get blessed, and it's not a handed thing. It's because we've earned to be here. Do you want to earn to be here? Then do the inner work and say, I want to be here. But action, right? Action speaks louder than words. That's true power, not bullshit. Reality, doing it, and our bodies that we came here to experience. Um, so replacing that good stuff, refilling ourselves with affirmations of acceptance and self-love, and putting on the armor of God from the Bible, Psalms 31, 91. I'm sorry. So replace that hole. People will, use addictions to fill the wrong hole. They're not taking care of the correct problem. They, the soul the soul is never broken, and that is always whole. Whole, you know? Usually when someone goes to court, the judge is there was like fraud, ID fraud committed on someone who, someone used their name to, I don't know, they wanted to pretend that they're that person to buy a house and buy a car and run a business, but they didn't want any liability for it. So, and then they put a life insurance policy out on, they thought, you know, that one person was, and get away, do a hitman on the real person so that they can collect the life insurance or something. All that nefarious shit. Um, well, saying when it goes to court, um, the judge is seeing how to restore the innocent person back to wholeness. WHOLE. I went to a semester of law school, and that is the judge's duty to repair that innocent person back to whole. How can I make that person whole again? How can I use these laws? Yeah, the past laws will be used because those are references and legal. Um, it has to be correct, right? And it's a rule. Laws are rules, and this innocent person follows the rules and needs to be restored back to wholeness. And so that's also in it's on every level, right? We see this um, metaphorically in different scenarios because or done with the past. And when someone says they're sorry, it's more of an action. That's a true sorry person. And I'm getting chills on my left foot. Yes. And that will show in our past. Um, Time not only heals all wounds, but it does it shows a pattern, right? A pattern of someone's life. Did they genuinely and authentically sorry and change? 10 years later, an addict hasn't touched a drop of alcohol, hasn't abused, hasn't done anything corrupt, has been trustworthy, whatever. It- The time shows, right? That's our earned using our time wisely. That's not to be bought. Money can't buy that. Money can't buy trust, integrity, um, all the things that matter, morals, everything you need when you face God, everything you need when you face a judge of law. Reality sets in, all the illusions, poof, disappear like a gust of wind from Mother Earth off of the fog, off their fantasy and reality. Being sober is reality. Being honest is reality. And people who fear the future go through what if scenarios. Um, well, in business, what I learned from my MBA, they're called contingency plans. If this goes wrong, we're going to do this. And um, plan A, plan B, plan um, whatever, all the way to Z if you want to. Um, Hopefully, we're sharp enough to get it right the first time, and that's my aim. Um, and um, don't be afraid. I mean, look at the source. When people have bullshit to say, look at the source. Okay. Are they obviously not aware, not awake that they're talking about themselves? Are they spiritually elevated and mature like Jesus Christ tried to teach us? And here we are in these new energies, and Jesus knew. He was psychic, medium. He knew Judas was going to betray him. He called him out. And Judas had some healing to do. He had to learn that money is a tool. Money is energy. It's to be used. In fact, the galactics don't use that. The galactics are also um, telepathy, and that's what we're moving to. One of our superpowers, and no one can get away with lies. And the new financial system with crypto that we're going into, then we'll get humanity project issues, building God's kingdom, that is going to only go towards the people that they can see are trustworthy to have these, to run these humanitarian projects. And the ones who aren't will be taken care of accordingly. I heard a lot of the ones that haven't raised their vibrations will go back to another 3D planet. A Palladian said three, there's going to be, I think there's going to be like, gosh, I can't remember, so long ago. Kent Dunn was saying there's going to be about three 5D planets and two 3D planets. And those who haven't raised their vibrations are going to stay on the 3D planets. And then the 5D planets, those who raise our vibrations to go with Mother Earth to and have our Avengers superpowers and build God's kingdom on the 5D planet. And we're already shifting in the universe. Um, I'd like to get more information on this and hard physics facts, but that's for another day and time. You do it, and let me know in the comments. That would be awesome. Or make your own video. In fact, I should check it out. See if someone um, showed where we are now in the grid, on the grid, because we're moving from like, it goes in fours, quarters, and they each have a name. I didn't memorize it, but, and then our central sun, where source is God. And we were like right about here in the middle about 3 years ago when I was really doing my own research on it. And we were getting blasted with the photons from God. That was really hitting us hard when we were like getting those ascension symptoms, like the aches and pains, sleepiness, drowsiness, rings in the ear. That is, you know, opening our clairs, making things more clear, making us more higher vibrational, making us more um, psychic and aware of the other dimensions. Yeah. So, um, whenever if you're going through it now or you haven't gone through it, raise your vibrations and it will start to begin and the achiness and everything. Also drink a little bit of distilled water. That'll help with the ascension symptoms. And just go with it. Listen to your body. That's a part of awareness and clarity. If you're tired, sleep. If thirsty, drink. It's no brainer. Your body's intelligent and it works. You know, it there's an automatic system that works for us that is intelligent. God, we have a lot to be grateful for. We really do. So, if you're worried, don't have fear. Just prepare. Don't worry about being yourself in a loving way, right? Unconditionally loving, healed. You're fine. And um, the good, the bad, and the ugly, embrace it. Just embrace it. And you know, and for all these energies coming in, grab your energetic surfboard and just ride these energies. Mhm. Okay. And I wanted to mention for people who are addicted to alcohol, a little scenario about how bad it is for your organs when we drink too much. Okay. Like every now and then it's okay, but every day, more than, a few drinks, three, that's, um, you know, uh, and especially if we have kids, needs to be addressed. So what you can do is you can take, okay, so there's a lot of, let's say there's alcohol in a perfume bottle, right? And your hair's unruly, and spray some of this on your hair and it will hold it like hairspray because there's alcohol in it. Okay. Like, have you ever heard of Aquanet? We used to put our mohawks up in Aquanet and blow dry it before going to see a gig in LA or in Long Beach or one of the beach cities, whatever, and or spikes or however we did our hair, like the sunshine. We would do our punk rock hairdos with alcohol, Aquanet, and blow dry it, and it would stick. It would stay. It wouldn't move. It would just be like, "Arr," if you like tried to bend it. It was just you had to like really wash it out with a lot of soap and time. Um, so drinking alcohol all the time, try this experiment and just imagine what it's doing to your organs, okay? And it also switches the breathing. So it's hard and it'll make you shake. Your nervous system will be affected. There will be shakes too. It's a hard, once you're past that point, it's really hard. One of the hardest addictions to break because of how it changes your body and getting back to health. It's scary. Yeah, people that go that far never thought about it. And then when they get their lab reports back, have kidney. One of my very nice neighbors passed away from alcohol. He was addicted to alcohol and um, his liver, and they tried to save it. And then he just got to the point where I'm just going to stay home with my family. And he got to live about, I think, 3 or 4 more months before. And I could smell it on his breath. And I'm like, oh, you better not. Your wife's going to be mad. But he's probably thinking, I got few months. My days are numbered, and I'm going to use the rest of my time to just fuck it, enjoy it. So that's what he did. But it was very sad. He had like a 19-year-old. and a 20-year-old. The kids were young adults or older teens, and his wife adored him. And they were high school sweethearts. Um, yeah. So, um, rest in peace, dear. Steven, show him around. Eric, show him around. Okay. So we don't want to get to that point where we're scared straight. Have you seen that show where parents are had enough of their kids being obnoxious and said, "All right, there's a program," or even the judges say, "All right, you can do community service and join this program, Scared Straight," where you're taken to a prison and you get to see what life is really like if you want to be a little asshole. They were scared straight. And it was funny to see the looks on their faces because um, they changed. They straightened up their act and they took their life seriously. They actually cared. They cared about themselves. And that's part of self-love, caring about yourself, doing your best. And it's nice to people who love you, you make them happy too. Okay. So preparation and prevention is half the battle. And that's a thing in medical. When you're prepared and prevention in health, dental, anything that has to do with health, prevention is number one. Okay. You don't want to wait for it to get past the point and then, shit hits the fan. That's not very bright. So we need to, preparation and prevention is half the battle. And that also eliminates a lot of stress, anxiety, and fear. And um, being adaptable and hypervigilant is also um, these energetic waves that we're surfing, right? And keeping our balance, keeping our knees bent, right? Keeping our chakras ready to our shock absorbers and surf this out. 12-12 energy grounding. And in the last reading I did was I got yin yang, it was like you sleep well and then you wake up and have like rocket fuel energy. Yeah, stay grounded. So we have a new moon in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is a fire sign. It's the archer, right? Pointing the arrow into the air. The air is logic and facts and uh, yeah, using your logical mind, intelligence. Um, and you can use numerology for this. It goes into Uranus, and Uranus is the planet of expectation. Okay, well, take in- take into consideration the variable of um, Mercury retrograde. Okay, so usually there's technological issues. There's Archangel Metatron will help us with that, and um, staying grounded with Mother Earth, and also um, expectation can be either way. It depends on how you take it because um, we can't control other people and you kind of have to let people be themselves, right? You just have the way you want to be treated, the way you have respect for yourself. Others are going to respect you, like your children or anyone else, right? Treat others the way you like to be treated. Um, some people may not have high standards. And once you do respect them and thank them and stuff, and they never had that before, they're blown away. you know? So it's nice to unexpect the expected. When we have those little surprises of kindness is great, right? So be careful with being expecting things other than what is normal, right? Like we expect to get our mail every day and things that within reason. Then um, the air sign is also, even though Sagittarius is a fire sign, the archer shoots in the air. That is the swords, the air communication, air, fly, and the truth. Um, they can seem kind of cold, not really emotional, yet that comes with balancing, right? Um, Also, this Chinese New Year 2024 is the year of the dragon, and the dragons fly, right? And there are um, there are people who come from their bloodline in their DNA, galactics. There are dragons. There's good and bad, though. I have a good one. Also, it's about rebirth. Okay, so we're releasing what's not serving us for our best and highest good, and not in a selfish, greedy way. That um, is also in a considerate and compassionate and empathic of others too. We're releasing what isn't serving others because God is whole and we're connected to God. So waking up to the truth. Um, and Kuan Yin also was mentioned, and I wanted to read her story. So I'm going to pull her up really quick. I have her cards. This is how her name is spelled. Let me see here. Okay, can you see? Kuanyin. Kuan Yin. And that's good to know because I spelled her name with the Quyan. Um, and Holy Spirit, Archangel Michael. So this is with she's the divine feminine, okay? Threshold, nectar of the lotus, milk and honey, the land of milk and honey. And the lotus comes up from that murky, icky water, right? Mud. It has the strength from the soul, its seed, to push up to the sunlight, towards the light. The sunlight is always our guide, our north star. Now, that's where our protection is, right? Our heavenly realm, our purpose. Now, let me get there because this is our rebirth, right? After we release all the um, stuff that we don't need. Kuan Yin. Kuanyin. Kuan Yin story. I wonder if this is her. This was my grandmother's. My grandmother told me she's an empress. Maybe she is, because this is the Ming Dynasty. A parrot becomes a discipline of Kuan Yin. So white parrots represent parrots, Parretots, like the bird. Um, is their shows like I guess is their trademark. Okay, so let me get her story. The legend of Kuan Yin. Goddess of mercy. I think that's her. Wow. Looks like her. Okay, so Kuan Yin, the goddess of mercy. One of the deities most frequently seen on the altars of Chinese temples is Kuan Yin, also spelled K. Well, here is Quan space Yin, like yin yang. Also spelled KWAN space YIN. So I bet she in Japan or China they have characters, which are pictures. If you learn what means the land, what means the sun, what means the water, this and that bird. You get an eye to notice it, and she probably has her own character, so that's why there's different ways in English to pronounce it, and it's spelled different ways. That's what happens to the Bible. So a lot of people learn Hebrew to get it right, hopefully, and gematria, and checking with Most High. So Kuan Yin in Pinyin, Guanyin, in Sanskrit, her name is Padma Pani, or born of the lotus. Kuan Yin alone among Buddhist gods, lower G, is loved rather than feared and is the model of Chinese beauty, regarded by the Chinese of the goddess of mercy. She was originally male until the early part of the 12th century and has evolved since that time from her prototype, Avalokiteshvara, means the merciful Lord of utter enlightenment. Okay, so I know what you're thinking. In this timeline, day and age, probably transgender. And let's um, get out of this timeline and put ourselves in that timeline where back then women were not considered to be, um, you know, they didn't get credit for crap. They were basically stayed in the home, right? So that's that's that. So if any woman was going to get some kind of substance behind her name being a female, they would have to take have you seen like those movies and stuff where except for Susan B. Anthony and the other lady, crap, I can't oh, so sorry. Forgive me because she totally deserves credit. Where women kind of dressed like a man or wanted to be in the military. They would, put on that role in order to, um, have rights. Okay. Discrimination, that's the word. There was a lot of chauvinistic discrimination, even though men had mothers who raised them. So, an Indian Bodhisattva who chose to remain on earth to bring relief to the suffering rather than enjoy for himself the ecstasies of nirvana. Well, that's nice to relieve suffering. That's what a leadership is supposed to do, a fearless leader, and prevent it, right? Prepare and prevent, like those who save. Where am I? Nirvana. One of the several stories surrounding Kuan Yin is that she was a Buddhist who, through great love and sacrifice during life, had earned the right to enter nirvana after death. However, like Avalokiteshvara, sorry, while standing before the gates of paradise, she heard a cry of anguish from the earth below. Turning back to earth, she renounced her reward of bliss eternal, but in its past found immortality in the hearts of the suffering. In China, she has many names and is also known as a great mercy, great pity, salvation from misery, salvation from woe, self existent, thousand arms, and thousand eyes. Now, I need my pointer. I'm sorry. So, why did I could put it closer. So, etc. In addition, she is often referred to as the goddess of the Southern Sea, or Indian archipelago. And obviously, history wasn't my major, and has been compared to the Virgin Mary. She is one of the Santashi, or the three great beings renowned for their power over the animal kingdom or the forces of nature. These three bodhisattvas, or Pu-sa, as they are as they are known in China. I think it's known. There's supposed to be an N at the end of the W. Lovey-dovey. Are namely Manjusri scripts, or Windshu, Samantabhadra, or Puhisen, and Avalokitesvara, or Kuan Yin. I like Kuan Yin. Kuan Yin works for me. All right. Kuan Yin is a short form of a name that means one who sees and hears the cry from the human world. Yes. Well, you know what? We are all connected. God, the fraction of God, that's us, right? Yet, when God says, when you see someone else, see yourself. Duh. What was that? I gotta clean my desk. Okay. And I had my pointer. Uh, Come on now. Her Chinese title signifies she who always observes or pays attention to sounds, she who hears prayers. Sometimes possessing 11 heads, she is surnamed Sung Su Nyang Yang, lady who brings children. She is goddess of fecundity as well as of mercy. Worshipped especially by women, this goddess comforts the troubled, the sick, the lost, the senile, and the unfortunate. Her popularity has grown such through the centuries that she is now also regarded as the protector of seafarers, farmers, and travelers. She cares for souls in the underworld and is invoked during post burial rituals to free the soul of the deceased from the torments of purgatory. There are temples all over China dedicated to this goddess, and she is worshipped by women in South China, excuse me, more than in the north. On the 19th day of the second, sixth, and ninth moons. For example, it is prevalent birth customs in Fuchao that when a family has a daughter married since the 15th day of the previous year who has not given birth to a male infant, a present of several articles is sent to her by her relatives on a lucky day between the 5th and 14th on the first month. And this is the moon cycles are female periods. Okay. The articles and how they tell time. Sent are also follows a paper lantern bearing a picture of the goddess of mercy, Kuan Yin, with a child in her arms, and the inscription, "May Kuan Yin present you with a son, oysters in an earthenware vessel, rice cakes, oranges, and garlic. Worshippers ask for sons, wealth, and protection." All right. Well, the women are just as important. Takes two. Tea and tea wear ad. Nope, that's not part of her story. Sorry. She can bring children, generally sons, but if the mother asks for a daughter, she will be beautiful, protect in sorrow, guide seamen and fishermen. Thus, we see her crossing the waves in the poses and render harmless in spears, the spears of the enemy in battle. Her principal temple on the island of Putoshan in the Chusan archipelago off the Zhejiang coast near Ningbo is a major pilgrimage site sacred to the Buddhists. The worship of Kuan Yin being is most prominent feature on the account of the fact that the goddess is said to have resided there for 9 years, reigning as the Queen of the Southern Seas. The full name of the island is Pu Loka from Mount Pataloka, whence the goddess in her transformation as Avalokitesvara looks down upon mankind. Now, that would be an idol, so I wouldn't worship her, but I do honor her. And our ancestors are very important. I totally give them honor. Source is always my numero uno, the core. Mio Feng Shan, Mount of the Wondrous Peak, attracts large numbers of pilgrims who use rattles and fireworks to emphasize their prayers and attract her attention. In 847, the first temple of Kuan Yin was built on the island. By 1702, Pu Tuo had 400 temples and 3,000 monks and was the destination of countless pilgrims. By 1949, however, Pu Tau was home to only 140 monasteries and temples. Scroll up, scroll up. No other figure in the Chinese pantheon appears in a greater variety of images, of which were there are said to be thousands of different incarnations or manifestations. Kuan Yin is usually depicted as a barefoot, gracious woman, dressed in beautiful white flowering robes with a white hood gracefully draped over the top of the head and carrying a small upturned vase of holy dew. However, in the Lamaistic form, common in bronze from 18th century China and Tibet, she is often entirely naked. She stands tall and slender, a figure of infinite grace, her gently composed features conveying the sublime selflessness and compassion that have made her the favorite of all deities. She may be seated on an elephant, standing on a fish, nursing a baby, holding a basket. Excuse me. Sorry. Having 6 arms or 8,000, and one head or eight, one atop the next, and for 18 or 40 hands, wh- which she strives to alleviate the sufferings of the unhappy. She is frequently depicted as riding a mythical animal known as, how do I say this? How Hou, which somewhat resembles a Buddhist lion and symbolizes the divine supremacy exercised by Kuan Yin over the forces of nature. Her bare feet are the consistent quality on public altars. Kuan Yin is frequently flanked by two acolytes. To her right, a barefoot, shirtless youth with his hands clasped in prayer, known as Shan Sao, Golden Youth, and on her left, a maid, barefoot, shirtless, demurely holding her hands together inside her sleeves, known as Lung Nu, Jade Maiden. Her principal feast occurs yearly on the 19th day of the second lunar month. However, she is fortunate in having three birthdays: the 19th and the 2nd, 6th, and 9th months. There are many metamorphoses of this goddess. She is the model of Chinese beauty, and to say a lady or a little girl is a Quan Yen. That's with a K, WAN, space YIN, is the highest compliment that can be paid to grace and loveliness. According to the ancient legend, her name was Miao Shan, and she was the daughter of an Indian prince, youthful and serene. She chose to follow a path of self sacrifice and virtue and became a pious follower of Buddha, herself attaining the right to Buddhahood. Buddha's in the hood, but remaining on earth to help mankind. In order to her blind father, convert, sorry, her blind father, she visited him transfigured as a stranger and informed him that were he to swallow an eyeball of one of his children, that's really disgusting, his sight would be restored. Um, that's okay, they can keep it. His children would not consent to the necessary sacrifice, whereupon the future goddess created an eye with her parent swallowed, and he regained his sight. So they created one. They, I don't know, out of an egg, a chicken egg. His children would not consent. He regained his sight. She then persuaded her father to join the Buddhist priesthood by pointing out the folly and vanity of the world in which children would not even sacrifice an eye for the sake of a parent. Well, that depends. Are they a nice parent or meanie? Another Mileshan legend was the son of the Dragon King had taken the form of a carp and was caught by fishermen and displayed for sale in the marketplace. Mio-shan sent her servant to buy the fish and released it. As related in yet another legend, Kuan Yin was said to be the daughter of a sovereign of Chao dynasty who strenuously opposed her wish to be a nun and was so irritated by her refusal to marry that he put her to humiliating tasks in the convent. This means a coercion failed, and her father then ordered her to be executed for disobedience to his wishes. But the executioner, a man of tender heart and some forethought, of judgment, justice, brought it about that the sword which was to descend upon her should break into 1,000 pieces. The good, the bad, and the ugly, right? Her father thereupon ordered her to be stifled. As the story goes, she forthwith went to hell. Yeah, living with him, creep. But on her arrival, the flames were quenched and flowers burst into bloom. So she went to hell and came back with like, um, what are those devil dog hounds? She's the leader of the pack. They protect her now. Yama, the presiding officer, looked on in dismay at what seemed to be the summary abolition of this post. And in order to keep his position, he sent her back to life again. Carried in the fragrant heart of a lotus flower, she went to the island of Putao near Ningabo, One day, her father fell ill, and according to a Chinese custom, she cut the flesh, the skin from her arms that it might be made into medicine. Yeah, a cure was effected, and in his gratitude, her father ordered her statue to be made. Surprised it is. Oh, thank you. By the way, I want to kill you and send you back to hell again, bitch. No, she's not the bitch. Her dad is the cold bitch, obviously. See how the projection is? He had some healing to do with completely formed arms and eyes. You're welcome. Man, what a hard head. Hard heads make soft asses. God will do that. Owing to a misunderstanding of the orders, the sculptor carved the statue with many heads and many arms, and so it remains to this day. Well, this statue I'm looking at she looks like a regular human, and this statue behind me, she looks like a regular human. But I've seen that. Misunderstanding. Yeah, it's a misunderstanding. How funny. Let me read that again. On the day her father fell ill, and according to a Chinese custom, she cut the flesh from her arms that it may be made into medicine. So we can take that like she got over her own ass, right? She she wasn't a devil of greed. She wasn't an asshole. There's many metaphors for that. She was a good, loving mother. She cut her own ass in order to have empathy and compassion for her dad. Forget about me. I love you. Family. Family. Forget about me. I love you. That's what family stands for. I like it. So that's what she did. Not literally. um, like they say, break a leg. You're gonna do a comedy act, and it's kind of a joke. Hey, break a leg, or you know what I mean. It's not to be taken literally. It's a metaphor. So since she got over her own ass to cut her flesh and be of a love to love, like a loving mother, and a cure was effected, and in his gratitude for her father ordered her statue to be made with completely formed arms and eyes. So he emphasized to the artist, like make sure she has arms and eyes. And I don't know how he heard it, but because of what we just read about the eye and the arms, she cut the skin off her arms, her ass, and um, and the kids were too selfish to see their dad, have an eye out for their dad, right? Hey, I'll have an eye out for you. Does that mean I'm going to pull my eye out and look around with it? No, it's a metaphor. I'm literally going to get over myself, but I'm going to um, see you, right? So that's the metaphor. So this artist, so when you see those statues of Kuan Yin with all the arms and the eyeballs, it was a misunderstanding. That is hilarious. Owing to a misunderstanding to the orders, the sculptor carved the statue with many heads too and many arms, and so it remains to this day. Well, I guess he's figure I can't have eyeballs without heads. It should look like a snail. I can't have this lady look like a slug. Okay. So the image of the divinity is generally placed on the special altar at the back of a great Shakyamuni Buddha behind a screen and facing the north door, the North Star, the brightest star. And then we'll get to the three wise men, and um, it's Christmas time. So it's a nice segue. Um, where's my pointer? Um, so in the second half, oh, and the north also means your purpose, okay? Your true calling. Um, what is it your niche? What is it you always want to do? Your humanitarian project, your mission. That's only for you to find out. I always wanted to build group homes or to protect minors who have been abused and neglected, to give them a safe place and watched. Just a few, because I don't want no buddy hurting my kids. So, anyways, that's always been a dream of mine, and I've been working on it, and it's all divine timing. I know I'm trusting God, and I've been reading says I am my North Star, my purpose. And this is God, I'm highly favored because God's happy I'm doing this for him. And I got chills on my right leg stepping forward. um, so in the second half of the Buddhist monastery, Kuan Yin is also worshipped by the Taoists, Taoists, and they imitate the Buddhists in the descriptions of this deity, speaking in the same manner of her various metamorphoses, excuse me, her disposition to save the lost, her purity, wisdom, and marvel working power. Well, that makes sense. Save the lost, right? Point them to the North Star. Well, in the Navy, it's very important for naval officers who navigate ships have to learn where they have to learn the celestials and how to navigate by the stars and where the North Star is. Okay. So they're not lost. And spiritually, this is our divine purpose, the brightest star in the sky. So, from early Qing times in the present, many thousands of statues of Kuan Yin have been carved in jade, the maternal goddess, the protectress of children, the observer of all sounds. Kuan Yin is a favorite figure in domestic shrines. As well, her image is carved on small jades, which Chinese women offer faithfully at the temples dedicated to her. She also is a single most important figure in Blanc de Chinaware. Bobbleheads, Kuan Yin bobbleheads. Get your get your, um, your what is it? Your Kuan Yin foam finger. With approximately 9 out of every 10 action figures from Dihua representing that divinity in one or other of her manifestations. The Kuan Yins often were described to European purchasers as a white Santa Marias, so as to make them more desirable to a Christian market. Yeah. So don't be using Santa Maria for anything nefarious because Kuan Yin is a divine feminine and she loves us. Or go to I've heard they tried that, the karmics. What was that word? Where can I find it? There's that word that I recognize where I was hearing that those covens were trying to do um some kind of low vibe stuff that is harmless to high vibers, highly favored and anointed by God. Not Tucson. What are they called? Darn. Pantheons. Yeah. I'm gonna write that down. Okay. I'm gonna write down pantheons and do my own research on that. If you do, check about 5 or 6 other sites. Try to get not Wikipedia, anyone's opinion that is never valid in a university level. You have to have peer reviewed or 5 or 6 other that, correlate, and someone who has, a long list of, degrees behind their name. The gurus who check with other gurus and make it a science. So this path pantheons, and we're going to look at um, pine, the pine pollen, and how healing that is. And it's also it's on a spiritual, metaphorical way, and it all makes sense. It's just harmoniously beautiful, the symphony of God, right? Just like our DNA song. Um, okay, so oh, does it go further? Yeah, because where's the part about the dragon? I want to hear about the dragon. Darn it. I'm sorry, guys. I wanted to share that. So I was listening to the story and it was so good. I was like, oh, I want to share that Pantheon Kuan Yin story because it's beautiful, and how she's merciful and service to others. So that's the T on Kuan Yin. Let's see where's the one with her dragon. Kuan Yin story, and with Tiger. I'm sorry, Tiger. Tiger Lily. No. Let's see right here. Mhm. There is a movie. Wait, that's not it. That's not Kuan Yin. Great compassion. Oh, here we go. So, in one version of this legend, when Mao Shan was executed, a supernatural tiger took her to one of the more hell-like realms of the dead. Okay, so that's where that she met the tiger that took her to that hell-like looking realm of the dead. However, instead of being punished by demons like the other inmates, look how I'm gonna open this. This is from a temple, the temple story. Okay. Great compassion. Bodhi Pranya Temple. Playful Kuan Yin. White robe Kuan Yin. Yep, that's her. That looks like my statue. White robe Kuan Yin. Thank you, Grandma. Now I understand the meaning, and now I have um more respect and love my statue even more, not just because it's from my grandma, my nana. Okay, so oh, here we go. Um, Chinese Bodhisattva, goddess of compassion, mercy, and kindness, and is considered to be the mother goddess of and patron of seamen, the fishermen on the boats. Get your mind out of the gutter. The goddess name, the name Kuan Yin, also spelled. Okay, here we go with all the intro. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We understand. Um, let's jump back to the tiger. Rawr. Mhm, mhm. This is interesting right here. Portrayal appearance. Kuan Yin is usually shown in a white flowering robe, white being the symbol of purity, and usually wearing necklaces of Indian Chinese royalty. In the right hand is a water jar as a sacred vase of water, also one of the 8 Buddhist symbols of good fortune, containing pure water. And water holds memory, water is sticky, water is life. And we are what? 90% water? The divine nectar of life, compassion, and wisdom. And in the left, A willow branch to sprinkle the divine nectar of life upon the devotees as to bless them with physical and spiritual peace. With willow branch is also a symbol of being able to bend or adapt but not break. So that's the youth, right? Because the older ones, will break, but they're flexible. And that was this 1212 portal, remember, is being adaptable. And what was the other one? I don't know. Hmm, Hyper vigilance. Okay. So hyper is a, l- a lot of vigilance, lots of gusto, vigilante, protecting a warrior, protecting the innocent, protecting the minors. Yes, like the law, crimes against humanity is a death sentence for those who are pedophiles, traffickers, any crime against humanity off our 5D planet. See ya. You go back to the old ways since you want to live like that. Go back to the 3D planet for 26,000 years. Oh, and the Pleiadian said right in the middle is the Andromedans. They are the ones who are kind of like um, they're in the watch towers. They're like keeping watch of all the planets and they monitor. That's their job. And they're also healers. The beautiful blue faces. All right. Where are we? So, being flexible, right? Being adaptable, adapting, putting our shock absorbers on. Like when we ski, right? We have to bend our knees and surf, also surfing, we have to bend our knees and ride these out, ride out the shock waves, ride out the towers, ride out the changes and break it down. You want it broken down because we can rebuild. We have to break down an ugly kitchen in order to rebuild a beautiful, modern, top of the line, um, technological up to par, an ice machine, whatever. Um, where are we? Willow branch to sprinkle divine nectar of life devotees is a blessed spiritual peace. The willow branch is also a symbol of being too able to bend. Okay, so a willow, how they're naturally like that. That's why, or adapt. So like a willow, and it's adaptable. It looks sad, but it's not. Kind of like my pug's face. He has that like grumpy look, but he's not. He's actually um has a lot of energy and very happy. Um so the willow is also used in shamanistic rituals and has had medicine and medicinal purposes as well. Okay. I'm going to look that up. Collective, starseeds, earth angels, willow tree, medicinal in my mindfulness book. Interesting. See, you learn something new every day. All right. Um, I had my pointer get my point. My mom used to say, my empress. The crown usually depicts the image of Amitabha, Buddha, fully conscious, infinite light. Kuan Yin's spiritual teacher before she became a Buddhistava, a bird, mostly a dove representing fecundity, is flying towards her. Fecundity. A dove represents peace. So, a necklace or rosary is associated with her calls upon Buddha for succor. Each bead of the representing all living beings and the turning of the bead symbolizes the Kuan Yin is leading them out of their state of misery and repeated rounds of rebirth into nirvana. I always wondered why they turned those beads. Interesting. I thought they were counting their prayers or something. Wow. So that's for each alive person on the planet and um, their birth into enlightenment. I'm hot, I'm cold, I'm hot, I'm cold. Um, should a book or scroll of papers be within the portrayal of this representing the Dharma, the teaching of Buddha, or the sutra, the Buddhist text Kuan Yin is said to have constantly recited from. Kuan Yin is often depicted either alone, standing atop a dragon, accompanied by a bird, flanked by two children, or flanked by two warriors. The two children are called Long Nu and San Sai. See below. The two warriors are the historical character Kuan Yu, who comes from the Three Kingdoms period, and the mythological character Wei Tao, who features in the Chinese classic canonization of the gods. I'm going to write that down. Sorry, guys. I hope you don't mind. I'm learning too. Time management. How do I spell that? If you want to write, oh man, okay. If you want to write that down too, it's spelled CANONISATION of the. Now it says gods with a capital G, but source is the capital G, God, no plural. So it should be a lowercase g, but um, I don't know. I think this person is probably, if they speak English or not, because some of the words are, I don't know, just one mistake so far at the end after known. But that's the correct way to spell it. I don't know how it is to find, but we shall find out. The Buddhist tradition also displays Kuan Yin or Kuan Yin sitting or other Buddhists and Bodhisattvas flanked with the two said warriors, but Bodhisattvas who protected the temple at the faith and the faith and the faith. Once again, well, once again, and the faith itself. Love it. Kuan Yin sitting on a pink lotus is a sign for peace and harmony. Wow, I didn't know that, but I love it. I was thinking of changing my name to not my name. I can if I want to. It's my party. Divine, divine anointed lotus. Every day I come up with new ones. I should be writing them down. Um, so sitting on a and I hear music too. Kuan Yin. Now they spell it Yim, the M for mama, and the thousand arms. Okay, so we know that. Let's get to the tiger. Blah 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 la la. Let me find the tiger. Okay, so it talks about how the artist fucked up and put all those heads and eyes and arms. Why didn't they say? What does that mean? He didn't want to be rude. He didn't want to hurt the artist's feelings. It's a kinder, gentler China. Sometimes with an eye in the palm of each hand, and is commonly called, okay, we got there. The thousand arms, thousand eyes, thousand island. Got it. Addressing. So she wasn't naked. Yeah. Um, okay. He had that covered. With infinite expressions of her mercy, while the thousand eyes help her to see anyone who may be in need. Sure. You made a mistake. Good one. Kuan Yin flanked by two children. We got that. Where's the tiger? Give me the freaking tiger. And Tony the tiger says they're great. Okay, so the dragon being an ancient symbol for high spirituality, wisdom, strength, and divine powers of transformation. Ooh, ooh, ooh. There we go. This is the Chinese year of the dragon, 2024. So Kuan Yin standing atop a dragon. Kuan Yin is also known as patron, bodhisattva. Now, a patron is usually someone like a client, um, like a sitter, like someone who gets a service, right? Like when we go to, say, Target, we're patrons because we're paying for something, right? And then, um, or what's on the shelf, I guess you could say. Um, but why is she a patron? Because she pays attention to humanity, right? It's her service. Her service. Puto Shan Pount Pateau, mistress of the Southern Sea and patroness of fishermen. So she pays attention to fishermen. As such, she is shown crossing the sea seated or standing on a lotus or on the head of a dragon. Here we go, Earth Angel Warriors. The dragon being an ancient symbol for high spirituality, wisdom, strength, and divine powers of transformation. I freaking love it. Love it, love it, love it. You hear that? My dragon is my dragon's like gorgeous, like a peacock. Huh. Legends Kuan Yin and Shansai, also called Sandana and Sanskrit, was a disabled boy from India who was very interested in studying the Buddha Dharma. So, Dharma is good karma. Dharma. When he heard that there was a Buddhist teacher on the rocky island, all right, he went to go see her. I'll break it down for you. So she tested the boy's resolve to fully study the Buddhist teachings. She conjured the illusion of three sword wielding pirates, creepy, running up the hill to attack her. So let's see. If he protects her, that is service to others, protecting an innocent person, or does he like, I ain't gonna get my hands dirty, fuck her, and then he'll eat her and him. Anyways, Guan Yin took off the dashed off the edge of a cliff, the three illusions still chasing her. San Sai, seeing that his teacher was in danger, hobbled uphill. Kuan Yin then jumped over the edge of the cliff, and soon after this, the three bandits followed. San Sai, the disabled kid, still wanting to save his teacher, managed to crawl his way over the cliff edge. San Sai fell down the cliff but was halted in midair by Kuan Yin, who now asked him to walk. Shan Sai found that he could walk normally and that he was no longer crippled. Okay, so this reminds me of Forrest. Forrest Gump when he was wearing leg braces and he started dancing to Elvis and started running. She was like, "You're healed." Oh, And then he started running until they broke off and fell off of him like transformation, shedding an old skin. When he looked into a pool of water, he also discovered that he now had a very handsome face. From that day forth, Kuan Yin taught San Sai the entire Buddha Dharma, the good stuff. All right. Okay. So we got a tiger and a healed kid. Now we need, um, a dragon and a healed kid. Now we need the tiger. More stories. More. Well, I wonder how long she lived. Dang. I'm sorry, guys. Oh, here we go. Okay. Finally, in desperation, he used his hands. Now, son, realizing the fate of the executioner would meet at her father's hand, should she fail to let herself die, forgave the executioner for attempting to kill her. It just said, but he didn't, though. He didn't try. He didn't do spells on her, like scheduled every morning before he goes to work, like an ignoramus. Return to senders times 10 in the powerful name of Jesus Christ. Just as said that she voluntarily took on the massive karmic guilt the executioner generated for killing her, thus leaving him guiltless. And then she gave it to God. She put she put it in a helium balloon and sent it up to God. And then when it reached higher vibes, it popped. That's also it. We're getting pockets of tests, temptation tests, and negative illusion tests, and we are to pop them awake with high vibes. Okay. It is because of this that she descended into the hell like realms. Wait a minute. She helped him. That's okay. She's a badass. My mom used to tell me stories. The briar patch. So my mom would to me. No, don't eat me, fox. Don't put Briar Rabbit. Don't put me, Briar Rabbit, into the briar patch. Oh, it'll hurt. It'll kill me. Oh, it'll strip me to nothing. Oh no. Oh, brother. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put you, Briar Rabbit, into that briar patch, and it's gonna kick your ass, and you're gonna be miserable like me. Because misery likes company, and I'm a dipshit, so you gotta feel like shit. With my shit for brains. Okay. No, don't do it. No. Ah. Yep, that's what I'm gonna do. Puts him in the briar patch. So long. So he's in there and he's covered by all the briars, which is like thorns and stuff, covering the top. But he knew the pathways, the ins and outs, because that's where they played with his brothers and sisters. And then he looked at the fox, the shit for brains fox. So long, sucker. I ran. And there wasn't nothing that the fox could do about it and his shit for brains minions because it was covered by thorns. And he took off and he ran home and um was safe and sound, got a hot meal. Probably and his mom told his mama bear all about it. So I love that story. Thank you, Mama Bear. That's You're the best. All right. So he forgave the executioner for killing her. Da 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 da. She went to hell. Okay. And she came out leader of the pack. She witnessed firsthand. You know what? It doesn't say that the tiger took her there. Wow. That's so messed up. False advertisement. Well, okay, let's read this. It's almost done. Almost finished. While there, she witnessed firsthand the suffering and horrors beings there must endure and was overwhelmed with grief. Filled with compassion, she realized all the good karma she had accumulated through her many lifetimes. Yeah, I got this. Thus freeing many suffering souls back into heaven and earth. In the process, the hell like realm became a paradise. Ah. It is said that the Yanlao, king of hell, sent her back to earth to prevent the utter destruction of his realm. This is my hell. What the fuck you doing? Make it a paradise. Where's my flames? I could just see it now. Yes, I did have fun in communications. I do have a lot of certificates, wallpaper. It was fun. In the process, this is what we did before technology, boys and girls, ladies and germs. We had stories of wisdom, like the Indians, and that's school. School's in session. In the process, the hell-like realm became a paradise. That's funny. And then Yanlo, king of hell, said, "What did you do? You destroyed my hell, man. You made it pretty. Just I don't like pretty. I want it pretty ugly." And that upon her return, she appeared on Fragrant Mountain. The hills are alive. And she turned into Julie Andrews and lived happily ever after. Another tale says that Mao Shan never died, but was in fact transported by a supernatural tiger. Gosh, finally, believed to be the deity of the place to Fragrant Mountain. Okay, so now the tiger goes to Fragrant Mountain, not taking her to um, King of Yan Lao, King of Hell, and the Lame Flames. That sounds like a rock band. King of Hell, Yan Lao, King of Hell, and the Lame Flames. Then a monk. Oh, my friend had a band called the Lame Flames. It was all girl band. Then a monk appeared saying that the jaundice could be cured by making a medicine. What? Oh, all right. His dad got sick. Mouth shine. Okay, that's it about the tiger. That's it. Just the supernatural natural tiger. She's a badass, man. Everywhere she goes, she makes friends. I guess she was an only child. you know? Or she lived in Seattle, Washington. I guess that was like in China back then. Pangea. They were happy. That's why my mom said that Seattle, Washington it was voted the happiest and the nicest city in America, or United States of America. And my mom said because it rains a lot, and by the time it stops raining, everyone comes out. It's like, hey, hi, a friend. But they don't care. They'll play sports. They they just function like it's not a big deal. They do everything in the rain. It's cool. It's a part of life. Just life goes on. Okay, so this is the same thing about her offering up her eyes and arms. So you guys get the point. And there's some like beautiful different statues you could check out online with the history of art. And then like it's interesting that her maid on the left are my our body's feminine side, but when you look at someone else, it's like a medical professional, it's switched. You're right, or someone a right side. When someone says right, you're going to use your opposite because it's their right. That's service to others. Not to you, yours. Like the time zones, right? Someone tells me the time and they live somewhere else. I'm going to tell them their time for them, right? For you. This is for you. Don't be a motherfucker. Okay. So carrying on. All right. So that's the story of divine feminine Kuan Yin of compassion and love. And that's why when someone wants to tell gossip and stories and people want to believe it without logical facts, um, a divine feminine who's in high vibes is a compassionate, loving, gentle soul who is in service to others, where they will cut their own ass off to care about their children. You know, our children are better. We forget about me. I love you. Family. Um, so good ways to be compassionate and empathy, right? Um seeing the point of seeing from the other person's um point of view. That's empathy. Apathy is not. Apathy is a narcissist and they got their head up their ass and all they do is think about their own self. And they're in the dark, ignorant, can't see shit. Well, that's all they see, really. And that's that's ignorant. Are you going to drive a car like that? Not real sharp, is it? So, um, so the energies? Let's back to the 1212 portal, shall we? Um, I need my fan. Hot, cold. See? Oh my gosh, I've always been like this. It's like I have to have like one foot out of the blankets and one foot in, and I'm just right. Later, later. My dogs telling me they want a treat. Bossy. Okay, so we're saying bye bye to the past, 2023, and this 1212 portal by purging out all lifetimes of what doesn't serve us. Been there, done that, bought the t-shirts, wisdom now, and we don't need it. We need to set time aside, times of the essence, to use this energy to heal, to cry, to get it out, dig it up from the roots, weeding out our gardens, and then filling that back up once it's gone, once there's no more triggers. It doesn't hurt, doesn't make you cry, doesn't make you want to ignore it. You can talk about it, and you don't have to re-beating the same drum and keeping your reliving that trauma. Um, like a lot of channelers that channel, when you just keep beating the same drum, you are sending those energies back to you over and over and over again. And no, we need to elevate, we need to mature, and we need to heal that. Um, so change is what's real. And like being sober, right? Um, so come on, my Egyptian royal bloodline. That's right. Um, and my fearless leaders, my collective, Starseeds, Mother Earth. Do, 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 do. Um, these new energies, divine feminine and divine masculine, will need to especially ground again and balance. And grounding, meaning being out in nature, taking off your shoes, feeling like a hippie, eating well, organic. Food is medicine, not GMO. Let's be wiser. Our feminine side is our psychic abilities and Mother Earth, nurturing life. We bring life. And in the masculine energies, leadership, being a fearless leader, and both of them teachers to the children and others. Sharing, right? Um, so it's also going into Capricorn. and hopefully high vibe in Capricorn, because in the tarot deck, it's, yeah, that um mean, nasty asshole, the devil, the ego, who likes to chain and bound and bind and um all the low vibe stuff. High vibe in Capricorns are hard workers, dedicated, reasonable thinking. You know, they don't have to trap their woman. They want a woman that is equal, not under, not behind, whatever, locked in the dungeon. No, a high vibe in Capricorn wants an equal, a helpmate, a partner, something normal, having fun in the sun. Laughter, absolutely. Okay. Um, and trust. You have someone who's trusting and loyal. You don't have to get anxiety about wanting to trap them, especially with a baby. Why do that to a child? I don't know. I'm not into polygamy, so I don't entertain it. I'm just um I'm just me. Good, the bad, and the ugly, the all. Just me. I embrace it all. So a high vibe in Capricorn. Hopefully we're going into January, the Capricorn zodiac. And um that's all right. High vibe in Capricorns are fine. This will be in a beautiful alignment to help us pass this next test. Now, how do I say this? As awful as we notice how the karmics um, are living, to me, it is, and others, we should. So I expect an A plus from my high vibe and collectives. All right, because we've been there, we've done that, we've learned, and now it's our exam. Sadly, um, if your twin flame has been demoted to a karmic because they're too hard-headed and stubborn, and the divine has to keep throwing towers to get them to reach down deep into their soul and listen and to act on what divine says. um, I can't, if he wants me back, I don't think so. I think it's all projection. There's a lot of manipulations going on, that a lot of readings get a lot of details. I listen to my own discernment. I don't take another reader's, um, you know, y- again, like research on the internet. Okay, the etheric news is the same way. When you have a reading, get several readers, compare and contrast. Okay, some readers have different ways of their using their abilities. Some kind of inject their own filter in it. Okay, Jamie Butler is the only one of my divine spirit guides. You can find her, Jamie Butler. Just she's everywhere on the internet. She's amazing, amazing. She's a sunshine. She calls herself the everyday medium, the everyday medium, and she is verbatim. She has no filter, is what divine spirit guide Archangel now Eric Medhus um said. She's the only reader that he could say is like 1,000% unfiltered, 100% in 3D land. Unfiltered, meaning injecting her own 2 cents. A lot of readers I notice, like, compare and contrast, get you know, they inject their own thoughts and feelings into it. And it's very important when you give a reading to be empathic, and that means cutting your own ass, right? Like an outfit, take off your meat suit, put it in the closet, and be pure spirit, divine spirit, and then connect, feel, right? And just that, and then come back, put Kathleen to sleep and just be for the sitter. And then I come back. They want my opinion, I'd be happy to give it. But that's not what they're paying me for or asking me to do. And I need to be practicing the real deal anyways, because um, it would be a disservice if I'd feel like I'd be cheating them out of the just raw truth, natural, what is supposed to be for them. It's their choice, their free will, their consent. Um, but anyways, um, so like in my twin flame, um, and I hear from a lot of readers different perceptions. Then I use my own discernment and I get something else. I also see something else. The cloaks and the masks fall off, secrets. And, anyways, um, no matter what his intentions were for me, I can get over my ego, my own ass, and on a spiritual level, pray for him and his family and wish the best for them. And on a physical level, safety first. And where's that address to the to the archery practice? Because I'm divinely protected. I have no fear. My son makes sure that, um, and this past year has really proven my faith even stronger. My unwavering fear already even bigger, bolder, and stronger. Yeah, my wisdoms, my true truths. So, being more fearless, definitely, but we do have to stay aware and um, also cleansing our energies, no matter what. So, let's say your twin flame wants is there's as a lot of us are going through wants to come back and but without an agenda, without wanting money or sex, just likes you for you, nothing that they can benefit from, right? Just unconditional living. And so, um, for you, collective viewers, has done the work and is high vibing, got their divinity back. I'm hoping that all the karmics, him, who's a karmic, all do that. I really do. I pray for them, but I've released him. I had to because you can't force nobody, and I don't want to. I never force my kids down a slide. If they don't want to go down a slide, we would just do something else. No big deal. And um, what else? My where's my ashtray? Una momento. I was just like reading the story. My mouth's getting dry. Okay, so I do smoke cigars, the feminine ones. These are cloves. That it's a it's a spice, and they are healthy. It cured the black plague, or prevented the black plague, and so I enjoy these. And if you don't like it, you can't stand it, or it's gross, disgusting, ugly to you, click off. Okay, but if you want to stay, you're welcome to, and I'm happy to have you here because I got lots more to share with you, or do what I do. Just you know, turn off the visual and just listen. I like the radio anyways. Okay. So, desk. Got lots of stuff here. All right. Like a tissue box. Sorry. um. Now, oh yeah, back to passing this test. Now, just like our twin flames went to, they failed their test, went to a karmic, and now they got karma. That's what's going to happen to us if we lose this test. If we choose as our partners, our friends, bird of a feather flock together, whatever, um, karmics, then we're going to get spanked with karma. So, unless they raise their vibrations into divine. So we have to resonate with our divine partner. So either um, as a high vibrating divine being, we need to get with the same, equally yoked and spiritually awakened divine feminine, divine masculine. And then that's totally protected with a bubble of protection. So no nefariousness, no hitmen, no witch doctors, no voodoo hoodoo. I don't do or consent to. So I'm gonna start rapping. Yes, Queen kicked into house. Now, um, so that's the test. Using our discernment. These things are like I have to have a lighter with it. Okay, so my collective. All right. Your choice though, you have your free will. If you um ride or die with your karmic, then that's what you sent out doing black magic to unalive people, then start making plans. Um, if you risen your vibrations to um divinity and you know, it's between you and God, nobody should have any issues with anyone else other than your own ass, protecting your own ass, finding the right friends, finding the right person to hang out with, finding the right university to go to school at, finding the right what to believe in gossip and politics, what to believe in what's really going on, who started the fires. Okay, I looked on ebh.club, empowering better humans club, where there's a lot of people that donate behind the scenes information and truth of history from lots of research, and the galactics too. And there was people who had pictures from their iPhones or cell phones of lasers hitting the shores of Maui, starting the fires. And that has been a controversial area that I hear the elites have been wanting. I don't know what's underground there. I know there's a lot of celebrities that are in the system, you know, as what's his name, Carlton, that Joe Carlton. He was a comedian, and he said there was a big club and you ain't in it. And I wouldn't want to be in it for all the tea in China. I wouldn't want to be in it for all the lame ass money in the world. I I like living simply, honestly. I don't have to have buttloads of money and then worry about people stealing it from me. I'm like very simple, modest. I don't have a lot of money. People think I do and want to siphon my energy for it. Your heavily brains are full of shit. Maybe that's what you got. So, what? She's a senior citizen? Check. Hmm. Yeah. Well, you guys you're sick from doing black magic, then you can probably get your own um welfare check, your little, social security county, I'm veteran. I go to the VA, same thing as going to the county, right? So government, I go to the government. So you guys are tripping. You thinking that I'm just handed stuff and not I don't deserve what I have. Fuck off. You don't know me. And how dare you judge me because you don't. Nope. I give you guys to God. And so should you. Because you aren't God. Obviously, look at your lives. Is it turning out the way you created it to be? I think you did. But Big Daddy doesn't allow bullies to harm his obedience. So you want what I have? Be obedient to God. Can you do that? Do you want to do that? You have to heal too and be nice. You want to be nice? Not acting nice. I mean, like, you know, when you guys get together to do your little voodoos and stuff like that, you know, that's not nice. Black magic isn't nice. Black magic is to control others. And that's why um, you want to harm someone. You want to strip them down to nothing. You want them homeless, you wanna take them out of their job, you want to harass them. That's illegal, by the way, not only in spiritual court, but on 3D. And as above, so below. Um, so nobody else to blame but those people that do it. It's your name, right? What'd you do? Steal my name too? Is that why you're blaming me? You stole my name? Uh, anyways, back to time management and using our time wisely. So stay logical, collective, and when dealing with temptations and karmics, because being the loving and compassionate, like Kuan Yin, um, brain fart, divine feminines are we're still mothers and we still know how to lay down the law and we still know how to stand up for ourselves. We're very good balanced of our feminine and masculine. And a lot of us know how to defend ourselves. And not to mention our high priestesses, divine high priestesses. Empresses are psychic. All empresses are psychic. They empower four queens, and the Queen of Cups is psychic. Not to mention, all the other queens got their take it with a grain of salt. We all have our abilities, and if we're not born with them, some of us practice, like playing the guitar. Um, so stay logical, collective, and when dealing with temptations and karmics, we know better. And again, popping those negative bubbles. We're to wake up, right? How you're hearing that loud pop. We are to discern. So that's important in this 1212 portal to know how to play baseball with those bratty bubbles of negativity. We can just bat them out of our face, right? And teach them a lesson. I'm thinking of that punk rock band. I saw him in Hollywood, the Ramones. He taught the brat, she taught the brat with a baseball bat. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Get your spiritual bat out, whack it. Now we have um. So stay away from the toxic energies. We want to stay in the love vibes and pop it with our love vibe bat. And, the demons can't stand the love vibes. It hurts them. No, it's like water on the Wicked Witch of Wizard of Oz, right? Melts. um, and all the flying monkeys. So definitely stay in the high vibes collective and pop those negative um, bubbles out of your way. And what's this? Face to face or sent energetically. Yeah, whether face to face or um, energetically, both ways. It's same difference, anyways. And the solar flares. Boom. Have you guys been watching Suspicious Observers and Discovery News.it for Italy? Yeah, showing the hugest. I mean, it was like, okay, the sun. Okay, like here's Earth when you look at a scale, and here's the sun. And then the the solar flare that boomed was like that big. Okay, I would say how many Earths fit into that? Okay. So, yeah, get ready. And you might feel more tired. Okay, so drink more orange juice, put your minerals in it. Get that rest when you feel tired. You need it. You need it when you want to sleep. And then when it's time to get up and do your thing, then get that orange juice, get those minerals, and maybe some push-ups, like Major Payne says. If you're feeling sick, you need to get a workout. Gotta, I know how to fix that. um, so these are um, something about travel too. Okay, and these solar flares are um, to help purge out narcissistic disorder and illnesses. Illnesses, you raise your vibrations, and illnesses don't vibrate in the higher vibrations. Um, and travel, okay, and the Mercury retrograde technology. So be mindful of that. All right, if you're going to travel or something, and also the storms. Okay, and yeah, this is going to help those who are trying to heal from MK Ultra mind control. And also, um, you know, don't pay attention to the divide and conquer bullshit. That's how the 1% thinks that they can control the 99% is by faking. We are fighting with each other and they're distracting us. The hidden enemy, it's not a division of countries. It's a division of good and evil, and we outnumber them. If everyone's on the same page, can you imagine how much faster we can hit the gas and put those low vibers where they belong and us far away from them? Okay. That's why uh who channeled this channeler, galactic channeler, was saying why would Alex, is it Alex Collier? One of them, that they don't want to come down here that often because unless they have to, because who wants to go to an insane asylum with guns? Well, that's why we have guns, because we live with those lunatics. So, um, so manifesting our mindfulness, we have to stay focused in our mindfulness and our intentions with our divine spirit guides and higher beings of light. Okay, and just remember, God wins always. There's no reason to have fear and anxiety. God always wins. Period. Unless you lost your protection, but God still hears you. Um, Also, Archangel Metatron is working with sending codes of wisdom, and Archangel Uriel. And we'll be getting more downloads of ideas clarity, and mindfulness. Actually, ideas, mindfulness, and clarity. Okay? And clarity is our sixth sense, our psychic and divine abilities. So we want to work on taking our salt baths and clearing our homes, and also working with our divine spirit realm, archangels, and protecting our homes, protecting others, our loved ones, right? Every aspect of our life. Archangel Metatron can help with these clearing these energies, and um, this this portal is the biggest catapult. It's like a springboard into 2024. It's catapulting us into 2024, and um, yay! Happy New Year! Fresh and new rebirth, right? So out with the old, in with the new. Plan, meditate on what is the new. Um, get your downloads. What is your purpose in your North Star? Hopefully, the low vibers are leaving the asshole south node and coming to the bright um, protection and where their true calling is, and their bright directional star won't be lost. Will have direction. So, like a powerful lightning rod hitting the negativity out, bringing in peace and harmony. Okay, so lightning rods hitting out Mother Earth, right? We stay grounded. Will be Mother Earth will be hitting those bubbles too, and stay grounded and bring it in with peace and harmony. What gives you peace and harmony? Growing a garden, growing healthy foods, saving money, feeding your family on just pennies, compared to the grocery store full of GMO and whatever parasites. You can soak your vegetables and fruit in vinegar before you wash and serve your family. Work on healing all triggers, and the unconscious is where our deep emotions are. Also, our intuition, yet it's something that needs to be uprooted and processed, and um, make lemonade out of lemons, refill it with something better. And about someone else is what we dislike about ourselves. When we dislike something about someone else, it's a cry for help that they're not awake. They're not, like the romantics. I hear the secrets that you keep when you're talking in your sleep. Yeah, someone isn't awake yet when they're talking about all of the bad things they don't like about somebody else. You know, I say, I don't care for this and I don't care for that. I don't care for, pedophiles and rapers. Does that mean I'm a pedophile and a raper? No, I'm being logical. But when I'm like, petty, you know, on and on and on, beating the drum, no, I will not do that. Delete, delete, delete. That's, read The Secret. So love spreads. When we send love to the negativity, not only does it hurt their demons, it's also turning them to dust. They can't handle it. Those dusties far behind us. Go forward. Follow the North Star, and love spreads. It's contagious. And we always have a choice. Choose to live right. Choose to love. Um, keep our frequencies at the highest. This portal has to do with frequencies. Okay. It's coming in frequently, a lot, a lot, fast. This is one of the largest ones. It's going to catapult us. So it's got speed. All right. You're feeling like shit. It's going to increase feeling like shit because of the frequency is going faster, And the speed, it's physics. Spirit is physics. Physics is spirit. God is everything. And stay in your north node. That will direct you, the brightest star. This is a cosmic destiny. All right. That's what this 1212 portal is for. Our cosmic destiny, like the soft disclosure, Space Force. All right. Everyone's familiar with that. I'm not bullshitting you. I'm not crazy. Maybe a little bit. No, we're never going to survive unless get a little crazy. But stay mindful, stay reasonable, stay logical, stay loving, stay peace and harmony, harm nobody else, and look for the best in everyone. And you'll find the best in you. Damn it. um, so our North Star, meditate on that. What is your higher calling? What is your niche? What do? You make you're great sewing? You make everyone has beauty they bring to the earth. Everyone has an important job, cooking. Farmers feeds the people. People take care of animals. We need that. We need you. We need everyone. It's a function, and that's how the galactics do it, and that's how we are going to function right into 5D and carry on smartly with our humanitarian projects in our crystalline bodies. And, the higher we get our vibrations, the less sleep and food we will need to. And follow our okay, so this is really cool. The Magi's, right? The three wise men followed the North Node, the North Star, the brightest star, and they just listened to their divine intuition, their clairs, right? Their knowing, their hearing, their feeling, their gut feeling. They didn't have anxiety. They listened to their gut feeling. And what? Claire Gustav, taste. Blair alien sense, smelling. So got um they got it. All three of them, right? How checks and balances or compare and contrast. All three of them are like, did you get that? Yeah. Did you get that? Yeah. Did you get that? Yeah. Three's a charm. All right. So all of them knew that it was time to um, follow the North Star was what they got, and they will find baby Christ. Um, so the Magi's knew, they believed and trusted their divine guidance to follow the star. And um, only one was a little hesitant, and he held the hands of the other two and was okay, you know, we'll be all right, be okay. And these energies, so that's their divine mission. Okay, now with love, with the yin and yang, right? Um, Darkness isn't bad. Darkness, is nighttime. We can sleep. Some people can't sleep unless they have a pitch black. Some people have, it's peaceful, it's serene, it's quiet. Some people think they're hiding in the dark. No, they're not. God sees everything. Energy doesn't lie. And there's also pockets in those bubbles or balloons that will be of envy, negativity, jealousy, because um, we're still, you know, with we're still the energies are still breaking down the galactic families, and God is still breaking down the old systems. Okay, and the old fiat dollar, the 1% elites, the just you know low vibes. And the reason why is because they they feel like um, you know what you got that I don't got. Instead of when I looked at people that I wanted to be like or whatever when I was a teenager, now I'm just myself, 55, but as a teenager you're still kind of like, you know, getting your feelers out and seeing um what you want to be when you grow up. And um I would look at like learning, I would see like, oh wow, like Kuan Yin of compassion and mercy. And I would learn, I would like someone who is um compassionate and merciful and a hard worker and was able to be self-sufficient, independent, put themselves through college, whatever it takes. I'm gonna like get up. I'm not gonna go to the party and get. I'll just do 2 years of hanging out with my friends, being a fuck up, and then time to get serious. Right, hit the ground running and learn and get my life together early. Ambition, right, without hurting or harming anyone else, because I wanted to show my kids that I wanted to be a good role model for my kids, and I wanted to show them. I want what is I do what I say, and I say what I do, and that I lead by example. And I don't like liars. When I was younger, when people lied to me, they're like, "What the fuck's the matter with you? you, you got a screw loose." So I didn't understand that. I understood um, doing things correctly, okay, and things go a lot smoother and nicer, and like what would Jesus do? Okay, Jesus taught us to. Um, I love him. He's my role model. I love him, and there's a lot more to him than. But anyways, so um, they're going to be jealous and envious people. I've never been comfortable feeling that way or having someone feel that way about me. Um, I would never take someone else's man that is married intentionally. I wouldn't want someone to do it to me. And if I'm with that man, what makes me think he's not going to do it to me? No brainer. I can be 10 steps ahead. I don't think like a 12-year-old. I think like I'm I'm adult. I'm elevated spiritually. I'm mature, and I'm already um, you know, I'm good. And what divine brings me, a mission or waiting or um, friends or being a hermit or, my life partner who's probably my age, spiritually awakened, divine, and good heart, grounded in for a long time, not just a good time. I understand the benefits of that, and I appreciate that. That's what I'm looking forward to in my new man who doesn't want to come in and just um, take my check to benefit them or my energy or I don't know, have like a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde personality that will do anything I want, which is really fishy to me. Thinking I owe them something. No, you owe God something. Actually, I owe God, and we all do. And um, what else? Has an agenda to like slowly um, torture They have like a little mean, malicious side that thinks that I'm responsible for something that I have nothing to do with, just innocently warned them about, don't do this, don't do that, or you'll get karma. And now they're experiencing their karma. And for warning them, I'm being blamed. Go figure. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. No, I'm not going to let that person in my life, even if they become divine, unless divine tells me to. I always ask divine first. So don't worry about what I'm going to do, what I tell that person. Collective, I know the divine feminines and divine masculines. Always ask divine first. That's why we're divine. Duh. But for the karmic feminines and the karmic masculines, no, I'm not talking to one of my nice um gentlemen, my platform buddy. um, you know who you are. Um, I am just talking about freedom. We all have freedom, we all have free will, and that's what life's all about. Not only raising our kids to be better than us, but uplifting others. It really is. I was taught never kick someone they're down. Give them a hand. Simple as that. Same thing with anything else. I've always believed in karma since a young age. So that's a no brainer for me. I do not want anybody else's husband, boyfriend, even if they do have an open door and into polygamy and coven sex magic and all that whack shit. No, not for all the money in the world, not for everybody else's energy in the world. That's just ugh. I feel like I'm gonna vomit. I want to vomit. So yeah, it's like, oh yeah, I'll take you back because you love me. And I'm not gonna take a ring or nothing because I'm sure there's some kind of like hex on it. You guys just don't know, collective. Man, I came out here. You heard my story if you watched my videos. This is just, I know it sounds out there, but it's real. It happens. And it's just, as we know, karma's real. And we live and we learn. And we all can't blame nobody else. Maybe that'll cause another tower for someone who wants to keep blaming the collective for their damn own energy that they sent out. Nefarious spells, and then it comes back and you're going to blame someone, the collective who was trying to help you. That just don't make sense. That don't make sense, boo boo. No, you need to get out of your head and realize we need to be reasonable, be logical. You need to be more logical. You're spending too much time in your head. Karmic. And, think about freedom. We are all free, you know? Yeah. There's people that's one thing about the military. It's like, what are we fighting for? What are we giving our lives for? What are we learning tacticals for? What are we practicing at the shooting range for? A free country so that my mom could go to the grocery store without, like they do overseas, having to worry about some freaking asshole being mean to her? No. You know why the uh, Germans in World War II and the Japanese, I love my German and Japanese friends. Okay, we've healed from that and it's far in the past. I want to point out the asshole leaders, the 1%. See, I can correct myself. Critical. See, I don't care if somebody, points that out. I can humble myself and say, "You're right. You're right. I don't have to be right. I like living right, but I don't have to be right. I'd rather be peaceful and humble my ass and learn. And if I say something stupid and wrong, like division, excuse me, I'm not about that. My kids are half black. My oldest two, and I am not a racist. I look at the heart, like my mom taught me, and their divinity. What divine says, divine's big boss. So, um, anyways, the reason why they didn't infiltrate on Americans' land is because we have guns and we are the military of the planet. So, a lot of us are trained and know tactics. We know how to shoot. My mom used to be married to a police officer, and he used to take us to the archery archery range. I was 5 years old shooting bow and arrow, and then when I got into the Navy, I only missed 2 out of 20. Everyone wanted me to have their back. And I was like, "All right, buddy. That's the way it should be." So, anyone who has any wild ideas popping up at my place, forget about it. It's rude. Anyways, so or the collectives. Anyone out there thinking about popping up on the collectives? And not to mention our ancestors. Our ancestors are badasses, and it's growing, and they're fierce, and they're like nonstop on your asses. So is archangels and our galactic families, our angelic galactic families, and I heard the fairies. um, who else? Oh yeah, divine intervention. Yeah, he was like, Michael, I'm not micromanaging you because you do your job. You know, you're an assassin, and you're loving and protecting. Yet these knuckleheads, these hard heads, they're just not getting it. So, do you mind if I take over? Archangel Michael listened, and I see him gladly bowing out. I'm right here. Source, call me when you want me to step in. So, yeah, my twin flame and all his karmic family, his karmic wife, and his karmic coven and friends who want to throw spell work, um, and you're wondering why it's not working, and the people that you're maybe I was sent in to be an agent for God. Maybe God had enough, had enough. I want you to stop. Leave the collective alone. When are you going to learn? When are you going to get it? When are you going to get it? Make your life better. So I told my son when he was in ornery middle school, you're just fucking up your own life. You're making it harder for you. Do you want to have an easy life? Then be nice and easy to everyone else. Or do you want to be a little shit and be hard on everyone and give everyone a hard time? Give your teachers a hard time by being a class clown, by giving your mom a hard time, your dad and your stepdad being called by the principal. And, it's football season. I had a little talk with your coach. Yeah, he straightened up. He made the right choice. He's no dummy. And as much as he didn't like being reprimanded, he joins West Point Military Academy. And I got nice letters thanking me, him thanking me for making him make that right choice, the best choice. And that's what God gives us, our choices, our free will. We learn what we do like by what we don't like. And that's how we learn. So back onwards. Whistle while we work, collective. Hum while we work. Raise those vibrations. Listen to high vibing music. Do something nice for your loved ones, for your kids. You know, that also helps raise the vibrations. Um, let's see. So divinely orchestrated. Oh, put on the armor of God. Read that verse in the Bible or on Google or whatever. And the Magi's, they weren't prepared. They weren't prepared when they went to see, excuse me, baby Jesus, but they armored up energetically. And they knew they were protected because they had divine mission to fulfill. will never put us on a mission without our gear, without our tactics, without our armor, without our cavalry, our troops, and it's divinely orchestrated. Um, so stay in the highest frequency, stay in the North Star, follow the light, um, and Ace of Pentacles coming in from divine for those who pass their tests and roll with it. Get your surfboard out, okay? And um, hit those negativity, pop them. Fruit abundance. We're getting a fruitful abundance once we do this for 2024. That's coming in, right? Out with the old, in with the new, and our healing. And it's also a new moon, okay? The new, right? So definitely keep our energies cleared for those knuckleheads that don't get it and still want to get more karma boomerang on them. Return to senders times 10 in the powerful name of Jesus Christ until I know you won't stop. I'm hearing divine knows you won't stop. So there's only one way to make you stop. Go figure. Take it up with divine. That's what I heard. Divine was like, there's only one way to make these knuckleheads stop. And those who listen to Divine Collective, who get it, um, will get the divine abundance. And that's not money. It can be if that's what we need. I only want what I need. Um, I, you know, only God knows. God feels I'm ready to step into my leadership role, then that door will open for me and I'll flow with it. That's how I know that this is where God wants me to be. Or if I, I'll see it and feel it too. And hear it. Um, so stay in our love and light, right? And this is paving for our life, right? We're paving the road, right? We're paving this road. And also that this is what we're working towards. Pay attention to what we're working towards. Meditate, pray. Um, you can, I do sometimes I'll pray and I'll ask, Holy Spirit, show me what you want me to see. Boop. And I'll open it and it'll resonate with me. A scripture, a book, an oracle card, just everything is God. It'll resonate, right? Um, so we're working towards building God's kingdom, right? And then it's always abundant on every level. And this is a feminine energy also. There's a masculine of releasing, okay, taking that leadership, that fearless leadership and doing it. Then the new, bringing in the new, because we are going into more of the divine feminine, more um, nurturing, more intelligent emotionally, more loving, caring, psychic abilities, what the galactics have, superpowers. Um, this will bring in the healing, the healed will bring in and knows they're healed by unconditional love, unconditional loving ourselves, unconditionally loving others, okay, with respect and dignity. This is going to bring in maturity, a great wisdom, resonating with that. Hi, nice to meet you. Thank you. Hi, Link to the Stars. Thank you for being here. Um, this will bring in like a great softness and an energy of support. Okay, of support on every level. 2024 and unconditional love, right? Healing, being healed. Um, also resonating with the maturity, yet flexibility, being open minded and young, like a young, new spirited, right? It's a new year, right? Everyone has, a kick in their step, hopefully, but this is the energy. And being more agile, like active, okay? You might want to get out and throw some ball around with your kids or play soccer more. I've been feeling it without even coffee, and then I noticed I didn't have coffee. So I don't know if you have too, but I've been sleeping just well and having clarity. I heard more clarity's coming in my dreams, and I remember during the day, and it's just I feel the heightenedness, not being stuck. Those who have healed will have not feel stuck because they have healed. They've gone through identifying what is has been buried so long that needs to be healed, and not projecting, and they won't be so rigid. There will be more flexibility, right? The agility and the adaptability and the hypervigilance that is also coming through. Um, it's harder to be manipulated in our feminine energies connected to divine because it's our psychic, our clarities, right? And also, you know, a lot of us are old souls and we're tapping into our Akashic records. I wanted to mention again to the collective, if anyone's threatening any karmics to tap into your Akashic records and try to switch destinies and this and that. It's impossible from a galactic if they think they have. Well, it's not matching their DNA code, and it will be kind of like, I don't know, what do you call those things? Like, remember Raiders of the Lost Ark when they would try to steal something underneath, something, and then like all these, they had to like duck and they had to like jump and they had like all these obstacles in their ways. Yeah, it would be like karmic obstacles are going to happen for the karmics, and then they're never going to get the real one. It's going to be a setup by divine and then end in divine said what's going to make the karmics um non-stop nefariousness whatever stop whatever it takes. So don't worry about that, collective. So stay spiritually clean, collective, and whole. Our soul and our spirit can never be broken. Remember that. That's that's essential with healing and stay in gratitude and high vibes. Be open to listening. Stubborn people, they don't want to listen. They think, they know it all. Um, no. That's why we have several lifetimes. Um, did Einstein think he knew it all? Um, no, he progressed because he was still open to learning and open to he had to have been. I know for sure. Um, who did these purple plates? Uh, ugh, who I totally have a crush on. He's got he was Palladian and he got lots of downloads. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Where's my book? Okay, so be open into listening, have an open eye, a mind, and staying happy is not being manipulated. Not That's where boundaries have to come in. Okay, collective. So these energies of light expressing more, okay? We'll be expressing more communication, stories, reading more stories to your kids, explaining everything to your kids, feeding their head. Um, they are hungry for knowledge. They're hungry for love. They're hungry for just having good role models. Not teaching your kids how to do black magic karmics. Anyways, sorry, collective. More, um, so it's gonna be exposing these lights more and more every day as we press forward. These energies are brighter. Like it's bringing in more spotlights on the corruption. That's breaking it down. Not resonating with these energies, right? The old doesn't resonate with these energies at all. Humanoid creatures, shape shifting abilities, and reptilians who are nefarious, low vibing reptilians. There's high vibing reptilians, and I'll tell you what, the divinity in me honors the divinity in you, high vibing reptilians, because we're on the same level. I see with my heart. We are all different. I understand. We rip us out of these meat suits, we will look like the bar in Star Wars. Because we all come from different places, no matter what lifetime things. So, those people just working on our gratitude, making lemons out of lemonade, plain and simple. Okay, that's what Holy Spirit tells me. That's why I keep repeating it because that's my trademark. That's my motto. Plain and simple. What else? I wanted to mention. Let me see. Anything else, collective? I got lots of new cards. You know what? Let's do an oracle card from the unicorns who are in 5D. And um, we did Kuan Yin. Oh, you know what? Now I understand. Okay. So now I understand why in this picture she has lots of arms and lots of heads to hold her eyeballs. Okay. So because she um did you hear that story, Link to Stars? Because I read about it. I know, me too. They're very, very kind and um, protectors, and they are magical. And they're in 5D protected because they were sought after, and they were allowed. They earned their kindness earned them higher dimensions for safety, just like Sasquatch. Okay, so Holy Spirit, Archangel Michael, show the collective what we can for our conclusion, what we have learned, and I got chills on my right leg, stepping forward, actively moving, stepping forward, being active. Oracle of Unicorns, what do you have for us? All right, using our imagination, and that's what we need to do about going into our true calling, our North Star, our direction. Don't be lost. We have our North Star, our true calling, our niche, what we feel, what we love. Use your, like Axel Rose says, use your illusion. Okay, so imagination. Oh my gosh, these are teeny, teeny, tiny. Give yourself, envision a new reality. Give yourself permission to dream. And that's what my son says on the other side. Dreams are more than dreams. Dreams are creating our blueprint in the um, above, right? The higher dimensions. And then it comes into this fruition. Believe in an unlimited possibilities. Beautiful. Yeah. And whatever it is, good, bad, ugly, embrace it. Just be you. Just be you. So God bless you guys. And check out the rest of the video, you guys, to see what about Kuan Yin. We read about Kuan Yin, and we talked about these portal energies that are going. This is the strongest one that's catapulting us into um, 2024. So we're out with the old, in with the new. Okay. And it's pretty intense. It's strong. So stay grounded and get your energetic surfboard, bend your knees, your shockers, your shock absorbers, because these energies are pretty intense. And yeah, make the best of it. Make it fun. Get your energy surfboard and ride it out. And get ready, prepare for 2024 because it's going to rock. Okay? Love you, collective. The divinity in me honors the divinity in you. Namaste. Peace out. Where's my thing? Oh, here it is. Ah. I'm going to clean my dust now.